Hi everybody. So thanks for joining me. I had said originally that I was going to do a live video today, but they reversed their decision to close the gym, which I personally think is silly, but c'est la vie. So for those of you who don't want to go to the gym, I'm making this video for you so that you can do some yoga at home, and then those of you who do go, we'll see you in class. Maybe between now and the time that I am intending on posting this tomorrow, they'll have reversed the decision and I'll go live anyway, and I'll save this one for later. So we're going to just do a pretty strong practice today. So if you don't normally come to my classes or you've never done one of my online classes, don't worry. You can modify as much as you need to. I'll start a little bit sort of lower intensity and then we'll build up into it. And I'll give modifications as you need to. If you like to use a block or a cushion or a strap or anything like that, just go ahead and pause for a moment. Go ahead and grab one. I don't have plans for using one. So it's just basically if you know that you want to sit on one or if you like to have one to bring your hand to, say for a triangle pose or half moon, that kind of thing. Otherwise, we're going to start standing with some sun salutations. So if you want, you can just start to make your way up. Coming up to the top of your mat. Taking a long, deep breath in. Exhale out through your mouth. And we're just going to try to unlock the knees, roll your shoulders back. Take a couple more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms up above the head, lengthen as long as you can. As you exhale, bend in your knees, coming down into a forward fold. Shake your head yes and no. And then we'll lengthen to come halfway up. Roll your shoulders back. On your exhale, folding down. We're going to step back to a kneeling plank. So coming down onto the knees, shoulders right above your wrists. You can stay here and shift forward, lowering for chaturanga on your knees. Or you can stay here and bring your chest and chin down, booties up in the air. Slide your legs back, inhale the chest up. And then on your exhale, lower back down, pressing up through all fours first. Tuck your toes, find your way to downward facing. Start to pedal your legs. So use this as an opportunity to notice how everything's feeling. So the way that your ankles feel, the way your hamstrings feel, your shoulders, your neck, belly. See if you can press the floor away from you. Long, deep inhales and exhales. And then as you're ready, looking forward, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. We'll come halfway up. Exhale, fold back down. And inhale, roll all the way up, lengthen up to the ceiling. We're going to do the same thing again. So exhale, straight back down, bend the knees a little bit. Let your belly and thighs come to each other. We'll lengthen halfway up, inhaling. And then as you exhale, planting the hands, step your way back. So you can do the same as before, coming to the knees, or if it feels good for you already, stay up on your toes. We're going to shift forward with the shoulders first, and then lower down. Inhaling to lift the chest. And exhaling down. Press through all fours first. Tuck your toes, downward facing. Pedaling out the legs. When you're ready, looking forward, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. We'll lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Reach to the ceiling, lengthen tall. On your exhale, press into your heels, chair pose. So take a second, notice if you're bringing your knees really far forward, try to send them back. Squeeze your glutes up. Pull your belly in. Lengthening the arms. If you feel like you're bringing your shoulders up really high, you can bring the hands down to the heart. Long inhale in. And as you exhale, fold all the way back down. We'll come halfway up, lengthen. And as you exhale, we're going to come down and step back with the right foot, coming into a kneeling lunge. So bring the top of the back foot down onto the ground. Squeeze everything in. We're going to lengthen up. Reaching as tall as you can. As you exhale, hands down to the floor, shift your weight. Straighten out your front leg, pull your toes towards you. On your inhale, slowly shift it forward, plant your hands, step back to plank, on the knees if you prefer, or staying on the toes. Shift your shoulders before you lower. Then we'll inhale to reach the chest. And exhale, find downward facing dog. Paddle out the legs here. Looking forward, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, reach your arms up, bend your knees deep, find your way back into chair pose. Holding here. So you're going to stay where you are. I'm going to turn to the back of my mat. And then on your exhale, folding down. We'll come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold, stepping back with your left foot, bringing the knee down to the floor, top of the back foot, lengthen all the way up, reaching. Try to squeeze the glute on that back leg. And then as you exhale, hands down, we'll shift the weight, straightening your front leg out. On your next exhale, shift your way forward, tucking your back toes. Step yourself back. You can come to your knees or stamp on your toes. Shift your shoulders first, lowering down. We'll inhale to come up. And then exhale through all fours, back to downward facing dog. So paddle your legs here. Try to press your hands into the floor like you're trying to press the floor away from you. And then when you're ready, looking forward, walk your feet to the top of the mat. We'll come halfway up. Lengthening. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up, find your way back in the chair. On your next exhale, fold all the way down. We're going to lengthen halfway up, reach your spine, roll your shoulders. Exhale, fold it down, step your way back to plank. Chaturanga if you feel like it, so you can come down to your knees if you prefer. Inhale the chest up. And then finally making your way back into downward facing dog. Reach your right leg. Take it as high as you can. Send your left heel down. And then when you're ready, we're going to step that right foot all the way up. Plant your left foot. Lengthen all the way up. Find your way into warrior one. So try to bring that back hip forward. Press into your back foot. Press into the heel of the front foot. Maybe you can sink in more. Belly's pulled in. Lengthen tall. As you exhale, hands down behind your back, clasping. We're going to open our chest towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring your shoulder down. Maybe you can reach your arms. On your inhale, come all the way back up, lengthening tall. And then we're going to come into warrior three. So you can keep your hands clasped behind you if you like to. Or you can release them. We're going to put the weight to the right leg. Left leg's going to come forward or come up. Find your way here. Try to pull your belly in. Your back toes can be touching, or you can reach them high. Pull your toes in towards your shin. Try to keep your belly in. Maybe your hands are still clasping. We're going to tuck our back knee into the chest. So if this is a challenge for you standing here already, you can stay like this, or you can take a hand onto a wall or a chair. And we're going to bring the knee into the chest. So you're going to just slowly pull it in, and then reach it back out. Squeeze your glute. Pull it in, and out. 2 more. Last time. Woo, and then we're going to come back down, finding warrior one, lengthen all the way up. And as you exhale, we're going to turn towards the long edge of the mat. Turn your toes so they're parallel, hands onto the hips, sink all the way down. Shake your head yes and no. And then on your inhale, come halfway up. You're going to walk your hands back to the top of your mat. I'm coming back to the other side. Maybe you are too. And we're just going to flow through chaturanga. Finding your way to up dog or cobra. So if you're taking upward facing dog and your arms are straight, your thighs are off the ground. It's just the tops of your feet and your hands. And then we'll press back to downward facing. Paddle your legs here. So making sure that every time I give one of those intensifying things, so like upward facing dog, your body's not feeling it, just stay with whatever you had done the last time. When you're ready, we're going to reach the left leg high, squeezing it up, send your right heel down to the floor. And then we'll step that foot all the way forward. Find your way to warrior one. So coming up, squeeze the back hip, squeeze your glutes forward, belly's pulled in. Maybe you can sink in more. We'll reach the arms up, lengthening. On your exhale, hands down behind you, clasping, open your chest up. And when you're ready, just bring your shoulder down towards your knee. Maybe your arms can reach away from you. Press into your heel. On your next inhale, come all the way back up, lengthening, reaching tall. Actually, like on the other side, your hands can stay behind you if you'd like to, or you can reach them. We're going to put the weight forward, finding that warrior three. So shifting the weight, try to turn your hip down towards the ground. Your toe can stay tapped if you'd like. See if you can be strong in that standing leg. Hands are wherever feels good, maybe clasp behind you, and when you're ready, just like before, we'll bring the knee in. So you can hold on to something if you need to. Tuck the knee in and lengthen it back out. Squeeze your glute. Last time here. And then we'll sink our way back down, finding our way into warrior one. Turning onto your toes, finding your toes so they're parallel to the front, or I guess to each other. And then exhale, find your way down, forward folding. This time, if it feels good, grab opposite elbows, shake side to side. On your next exhale, releasing the hands, I'm going to walk them back to the other side. You walk them to whichever edge is the front of your mat. Shifting your way forward if you're taking that chaturanga. And then finding your way through upward facing dog or just cobra. And then back to downward facing. So from here, we're going to reach our right leg high. You can hold it here, or you can come down onto a knee, taking this on all fours. So we're going to bring the knee into the chest. You can do it here on all fours. You can take it from up here, bringing the knee in, or you can hold in plank, taking yourself forward. So find whatever feels good for you. One more like this. And we'll step the foot all the way up. Back foot's going to become flat. We're going to open up, finding warrior two. Whew. So slow the breath down. Lengthening the arms out. Press into your front heel, press into that back foot, squeezing everything in and up. And we're going to make our warrior dance. So your back hand's going to come in front of your leg or onto your back leg. So whichever feels better. And we're going to just inhale to lengthen. And then as you exhale, come all the way forward. Inhale all the way back. Exhale to come forward. Inhale. Exhale. This time as you inhale back, we're going to lengthen that front leg straight. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to tilt our hips, reach as far forward as you can. Let your arm just relax wherever you can find it. Open your chest towards the front. And then if it feels good, maybe you can sink down low. So you want this right side of your body lengthening down. So you're not just hinging over like this. You're lengthening, trying to keep the chest open, the shoulders in line with the front leg. Top arm can come up. Pull your belly in. And if it feels good, maybe take a couple of circles with that arm. If you're taking the circles, this next one, we're going to follow it with the whole body, reaching back, and then sink back into warrior two. We're gonna come to half moon pose. So this length that you have down the side of your torso, that's what you want between your foot and your hand. If you're using a block, you can use a block, or you can even just use a wall if you're near one. We're gonna reach forward. I'm gonna just adjust my feet, that's too wide. So reaching forward, your hands gonna come to the pinky toe side of your foot. Start with both hands down if you need to. Open your hips to the side. Maybe you can take that top arm up. Woo. Squeeze this floating leg. Try to take it as high as you can. And if it feels okay, maybe you can look up. Maybe you want to pulse the floating leg a couple of times. And then we're going to come back down in that warrior two. So you're going to slowly lower back to warrior two. Lengthen up through that front leg. Turn your toes to the long edge of your mat. Hands on your hips. Find your way back into your forward fold. So we're going to hold here for a few long breaths. If you have a headstand in your practice, you're welcome to take it. Otherwise, maybe you want to grab hold of your shins or your big toes and pull yourself down a little bit further. Maybe you just want to shake your head yes and no. So if you're in a headstand, you're welcome to stay there, obviously as long as you want. Otherwise, we're going to come halfway up. You're going to walk yourself back to the top of the mat. Stepping back towards a plank. Chaturanga if you feel like it. If you've had enough, just find your way into downward facing. Pedaling out the legs, taking a few long breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to move to the other side. So your left leg is going to lift. Just like before, you can stay here just holding. You can come onto your knee and take the knee tucks on your knee. You can stay up from downward facing, tucking in the knee, or you can hold in plank, tucking in. So take whatever feels good for you. And then we'll step that foot all the way up, finding our way into warrior two. So plant your back foot down, open yourself all the way up. Try to sink in. Squeezing this back glute, pressing into the heel of the front foot, lengthening long. Maybe you can sink in lower. Pull your belly in. And then we'll do the same thing that we did on the other side. So we'll start with making the warrior dance. So back hand can come in front of you or to your thigh if you want support. We'll reach all the way back. And then as you come forward, front arm can come in front of you or to your leg. And we'll just move that a couple of times. So reaching back and all the way forward. Last time reaching back, we'll stay here, lengthen that leg long. See if you can reach a little bit further. And just like on the other side, you want to keep the length as you shift yourself forward. Finding your way into triangle. Just find wherever feels good. Keeping that chest open, belly pulled in, length down that left side. And then if it feels good, maybe you can sink down more, but you're keeping that length on your left side. Pressing into both feet. If you want, you can bring those arm circles in. Just taking it a couple of times. And then the next time that you bring your arm around, we're going to follow it back up, finding your way into Warrior Two. And then from here, we're going to come into that half moon pose. So I'm going to scoot back again so that I don't hit into my planks. Just like before, you want to keep this length down the side of your body so that there's the same length in from your shoulder to your armpit as there is from your hand to your foot when you get into your half moon pose. And then you have your hand diagonally outside. So reaching forward, either for the floor, maybe into a block, maybe you're going to use the wall. Both hands can start on the ground, opening your hips if it feels good. Maybe you can bring your arm up too. Maybe you can look. And maybe you want to pulse that leg. So lowering and lifting, try to get it really high. Strong through your standing leg. And then this next time, we're going to bring it up. Slowly lower back into Warrior Two. And then we'll lengthen out. Turning your toes to the corners. This time, we're going to come down into our goddess. So try to get your knees so they're pointing out towards your toes. So you're squeezing them open. You're not leaning forward. You have your torso right above your pelvis. Holding here. If it feels good, maybe you can lift up that right heel and then over to the left. And just shifting side to side. If you want, you can bring your arms into it. So last time here on each side, and then lengthen those legs out, turn your toes back towards the long edge of your mat. You'll just find your way into your forward fold. Getting nice and comfortable, you can let your arms hang heavy, grabbing on opposite elbows. Shake your head yes and no. On your next inhale, coming halfway up, we're going to walk our feet, walk your hands to the top of the mat. You're going to take your back foot, step it in. We're going to find our way to crouching. So if this doesn't feel good for you, just skip it. Just sit down, take a moment. If this feels okay for you, you're going to try to press all of your weight back into your heels. If you can just bring the heels down to the floor and you can bring your torso back up, that's cool. I'm going to stay down here because that's how I can get a stretch down the back of my Achilles kind of area. And then if you want to, from here, you can try bringing yourself into crow pose. So you're going to bring your hands right out in front of you. Your knees, you're trying to get into your armpits. You're going to lift your hips high, get a little bit of a bend in those elbows, creating a shelf. Just leaning forward. Maybe you want to stay right here. Maybe your elbows are really low. Maybe you can pick up a toe. Maybe you can pick up both toes. Try to take your gaze forward so that you don't roll over. And whenever you're ready, we'll come back down and just make your way into seated. So if you were like, I don't really know about that crow pose, there's a video on my YouTube where I show you a couple different ways to try it out using a block and some cushions. So that might be something that you're interested in because it makes it a little bit easier to start to get into it from on a block than on the floor. So taking a couple more long breaths here, see if you can lengthen your spine. Maybe you can lean forward. So So if you're finding that leaning forward isn't comfortable at all, just take your hands back behind you and open your chest up, lengthening. See if you can let your knees relax. When you're ready, we're just going to take the left leg long, leaving the right sole of the foot inside of the thigh. Turn your chest towards your left leg, pull your toes back towards you, get as long as you can, and then see if you can start to sink down. Lengthening a lot, and then sinking a little. So just find where you feel that edge of the stretch, not getting too much into it. See if you can let this right knee relax. On your next inhale, gently press yourself up. Taking that right ankle right across your thigh. So we talked about this in class a lot. If this feels uncomfortable on your thigh, just take your hand right underneath your foot, giving the pressure into your hand rather than into your thigh. For some reason, sometimes when I do this, it just feels really uncomfortable in my thigh. So I like to put my hand there. Lengthen really tall. See if you can start to hinge forward. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of a stretch down in the hip, maybe in the low back. Take the gaze down towards your leg if it feels good. Try to let your shoulders relax. On your next inhale, gently coming up. I'm going to turn to my side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring my left leg in. Right ankle is still across the thigh. Start to bring your hips towards the knee or the heel if it feels good. See if you can lengthen through your chest, just bringing it deeper. So if this doesn't feel good, you can keep it really long. You can just bring it in a little bit, lengthening as much as possible. And then when you're ready for it, you're going to start to bring that left leg back out. Grab hold of your right foot or your right calf with your left hand. And you're just going to extend that leg long. So you can have your hand anywhere on your thigh. See if you can get really tall. We're going to pull the foot across towards the opposite corner, lengthening up. So hopefully you feel that down that side. Try to pull your toes back towards you. Lengthen a little more. You can turn and bring it into a twist a little if it feels good, or you can pull the leg higher. Find whatever feels nice for you, where it feels that best kind of deep stretch. And then when you're ready, you'll just take that right sole of the foot down onto the ground. On the outside of the foot, you can bring it inside if it's more comfortable, and then your twist is up to you. So you can twist away from your leg, or you can twist towards it. And you can do that either way with the foot inside the thigh or outside of it. Just lengthen up tall. Try not to use your hands to do it. So your hands, I like to bring them to my shoulders, lengthening up really long, and then pulling my core and using the shoulders to guide me. Lengthening again. Maybe I can come further. Relax my arms down. And then I'll take the back shoulder, roll it back. So it doesn't matter if you twisted towards or away from your thigh. Just do whatever's more comfortable. Try to lengthen a little bit higher each time that you inhale. As you exhale, maybe you can come further. This arm that's in the front is nice and relaxed. On your next exhale, unwind completely over to the other side. Maybe you want to roll on the side. So you're right on the outside of that hip. And lift your foot a couple of times, just to get a little bit of an inner thigh strengthening for a moment. And then we'll come back onto our booties and change legs. So you're Right leg's going to come out, left sole of the foot, inside that right thigh. Turn your chest towards your leg, start to sink down. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, see if you can come down a little bit more. Try to keep your spine nice and long. Maybe your gaze down at your leg. And then on your next inhale, gently coming up. You're going to take the ankle across the thigh, lengthen really tall, see if you can lean forward. Again, you can take that hand right outside of the foot. And I'm just going to very quickly plug in my computer. It would be such a waste if I had to start this over again. So see if you can get your spine a little bit longer. Hopefully that is letting it charge now. Yes, okay. Cool. So when you're ready, just like before, keeping this leg in the figure four, we're just going to slide the right foot in. You can bring your hips closer towards your heel, your chest closer towards your leg, so that you're getting that deeper stretch. Or if you prefer, you can keep it a little bit further away. So my hip is really tight this evening, so I'm just going to relax here. I'm not going to get too crazy into the stretch. Take some long, deep, full inhales and exhales. And then whenever you're ready, you're just going to take your right hand, grab your left foot or grab your left calf. Starting to bring that right leg out. We'll extend the left leg long and bring it across the body, maybe lifting. So you might find that it feels better to bring your hand onto your calf. You might need to keep your knee bent a little bit. We're just trying to get that stretch down the outside of the hip. So the straighter that you sit up and the higher you bring that leg and further across, you'll hopefully feel it a little bit deeper. Take some full long breaths here. You can twist a little bit if it feels good. And then when you're ready, just bring the foot down. So again, inside or outside of the thigh, whichever you did on the other side, hopefully you'll be doing on this side, will lengthen tall, and you can twist away from your bent leg or towards it, whatever you like better. Hands onto the shoulders, lengthen up. Get as tall as you can, and then using your core, pull it in, start to twist with the shoulders. Maybe that's as far as you can go. Maybe you want to try a little bit further, so you'll inhale up. As you exhale, pull in more, and then just let your arms relax. Left shoulder is going to reach back. Your right arm is nice and relaxed. Pull in through your core, lengthen up every time you inhale. And as you exhale, maybe you can just gently twist a little further, not using the arm, just using in through the belly, twisting with the shoulders. On your next exhale, gently unwind all the way to the other side. Maybe you want to roll onto the outside of the thigh. We'll take a couple of lifts here. And then slowly coming back down, soles of the feet down onto the ground. Scoot yourself forward so you have space behind you. You're just going to gently roll down onto the floor, lengthening the arms up over your head. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. And then we'll bring the hands down by the sides. Soles of the feet on the ground. Make sure you keep your chin all the way, or your chin pointing straight up, so you're not looking side to side while you're doing this. So if you need to watch me first, just watch to figure out what's going on. So the back of your neck has space between it and the floor. We're just going to come into some rolling bridges. So hands down by your sides, press into your heels. Belly pulled in, glutes squeezing. You're going to slowly lift. And as you exhale, roll yourself back down. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. This time as you lift, we're going to hold there. If it feels good, you can take your forearms under you, grabbing onto your opposite elbows. Maybe you want to tuck your shoulders under and grab your hands and clasp them. And then when you're ready, gently bring those shoulders out. Slowly roll yourself back down. We're just going to windscreen wiper the knees side to side. And then coming back into center. You're going to take your right leg, lengthen it long. Your left ankle is going to come across your right thigh. Let the knee drop out. And then from there, I like to take my left fist, bring it under my left bum cheek. Just giving a little bit higher lift so that the knee has a little bit more space to open. It'll also give you maybe a little bit of a massage through the glutes, or less of a massage and more of a kind of pressure point, like if you were to sit on a tennis ball, which if you have a tennis ball that you can grab, you could stick it underneath your glute. That might feel really painful, but in a nice way. So just see if you can let the knee drop out, keeping both hips down on the ground. On your next exhale, take that leg long. We'll switch over to the other side. So just like before, taking your fist on the bent leg. So fist on your right fist, put it on your right bum cheek, let the knee drop out. It just gives it a little bit more space, and then maybe presses into your piriformis or your gluteus medius, whatever part of that leg you're pushing into. It might be a little bit sensitive. And you might decide you don't want to do it at all. And again, tennis ball can go under there. Just see if you can let that knee relax, keeping both hips on the ground. And then when you're ready, lengthen that leg out. Reach your arms up over your head. Taking yourself as long and tall as possible. Long, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just relax down. You can bring your arms down by your sides. I'm going to keep mine up over my head because it feels really nice. So you can stay here and take a long Shavasana if that feels good for you. I'm going to take just a quick one. You might notice that this class wasn't a full hour, but that's because I filmed it at night rather than during the day, and I have to go get one of my kids from an activity. So I'm going to start just by taking 10 long breaths, and then I'll come up to seated, but you can stay here. You can pause me right now if you want to, and just stay here and breathe for a few minutes, whatever feels good for you. Just try to use those inhales to find anywhere that you're holding tension, and let it be swept away with your exhales. So if you're ready, just starting to make some gentle movements, wiggling your fingers and toes and making those movements bigger, maybe rocking the legs side to side, starting to lengthen your arms out. Taking a nice long deep inhale, lengthen as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, just bend one knee at a time. We're going to come off onto one side. Use whatever arm is on the bottom as a pillow. Pausing there for a moment. Just noticing if you're feeling any differently now than you were at the beginning of class. And whenever you're ready, just slowly starting to press your way up. You can begin to blink your eyes open, finding any sort of seated position that's comfortable for you. Just letting the shoulders be relaxed, maybe taking the palms to face up, taking a moment here, just focusing in on your breath. Ooh, excuse me. We'll take a long, deep inhale together. Reach the arms up above the head. Lengthen as long as you can. Bring your palms together. Lower them to your heart. Take a moment to give gratitude to your body. And thank you so much for joining me. So I hope that you liked this. Go ahead and give me a comment. You can share this with whoever you want. If there's anything that you want to see in these videos, because I'm going to be doing some more, especially as this kind of social isolation or social distancing kind of thing is going on because of the coronavirus. So if there's a certain type of thing that you'd like to do in class, if there's some poses that you want to work on or part of your body that you would like to kind of lengthen or strengthen, just let me know. If your income is not being affected by the coronavirus, if you wouldn't mind just sending me a couple of pounds on my GoFundMe so that I can continue to sort of make these, especially if I stop being able to teach classes in person, then I won't have any income. If you are like me and your income is based on having to be able to see people face to face and you won't be making any money because of social isolation or quarantine or what have you, please don't feel obligated to send me any money. Keep it for yourself, save it, use it for whatever it is that you need. And I hope everybody stays healthy, and I will see you all soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.